Okay, I think the live stream is up and running, so we are pretty much good to go. We're on the ground at Columbia with the CSS Boeing 737-300 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So let's go and have a look at where we are, where we're going. So I've just been delving around looking at the route. We're taking off, as I said, from Columbia Metro, which obviously there's the city of Columbia. So we're just north of, or we're in, which of the Carolinas is this? And of course all the labels are completely covering up the map, which is not helping me see anything at all. South Carolina, there we go. And we're going to fly a route down. This is a Navigraph provided route, or sorry, a SimBrief provided route. And we're going to come down to Miami and go and fly into Miami International. So it should be good fun. So the Boeing we're flying is the Boeing 737-300, which apparently was the most numerous of the early 737s that were built. So there are far more 737s than there are of any other variant, apparently. And this is going to be an interesting one for you to see if you've not seen it. So CSS brought this out about a year ago, I think, but it was in early access, and it's been getting better and better. And I finally took the dive and went and bought it. So, okay, you can buy them outright. There was a lot of controversy at the time they first came out because a developer initially released them with the subscription model, or buying all of them for a flat fee, which was very expensive. It's about £120 in UK money, so probably, I don't know, $150, something like that, to buy all of them at once with a perpetual license. I've gone and bought just the 733, the 737-300. So we'll see how we get on with it. So I'm going to jump inside the cockpit. And if you're familiar with 737s, this is going to look very familiar because the overhead panel hasn't changed in 737s in about 40 years. Even the latest ones have got pretty much the same panel, but where it is different is down here. So you're going to see we've got the screens. You'll notice the control panel for the screens is not on the glare shield, it's down in between the pilots, which is really awkward for the simulator. So I'm going to have to do some Spider-Man gymnastics during the flight to manipulate that, but there we go. There are some other slight differences here and there, so they obviously changed the hardware they use around the cockpit over the years. We have got a nice tablet though, which is a saving grace. Okay, anyway, let's go and work through getting this airplane started up. So I'm going to be working through a functional procedure of my own design. So if you look inside the airplane in the simulator and you go in here and you go into checklists, it's empty. So it does come with documents with the aeroplane, but they don't go into any great depth. I'm going to go show you them now, actually. So if we go into my community folder and we look in the B737-300, so you get aircraft features, a user manual, and a tutorial flight. If we look in the user manual, so obviously it's not a pilot operating handbook, so it does go into a fair amount of depth, but it doesn't really explain to you how to do anything with the airplane, which I find quite mystifying, really. So I've kind of waded in with my size 12s on. And if we go and just log into this quickly, hopefully it won't take too long. And if I type up here, CSS, I can quickly show you, this is the document I've written up. So it goes through how to configure views. You are going to need them. I'll show you that in a moment. And then it goes through everything you need to do. So which view to look at, where to look, what to do, and everything you need to go and program the flight plan and get it ready for flight, start the engines, and so on and so forth. So it goes on and on and on for about 13 pages, as you can see. So I mentioned views. Let's have a look at why I'm talking about views. I'm going to go and hold Shift down and go through the default views that have been programmed in by the developer. Shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're pretty much useless in terms of, any functional use. So I've gone and programmed my own. So I've got Alt and 1, Alt and 2, Alt and 3, Alt 4, Alt 5, and Alt 6. So that just covers all of the basic areas of the cockpit you need to get at while you are configuring and managing the aeroplane. So let's go and see how we get on with this. So Alt and 2 brings us overhead, and we're going to go and turn the battery on first and close the cover on the battery. Some of the click spots are quite small. And then Alt 1 will take us over to the tablet. We're going to go into Ground Ops and make sure that the GPU is highlighted. It is, and the chocks are on. That's good. Okay, so we'll leave that there for the moment. Then we're going to go back overhead. We're going to pull down the ground power switch. Okay, and then Alt 3 takes us further overhead, and we can set the dome light if we want. We don't need it, it's nice and sunny. We're going to go and rotate the IRS, Inertial Reference System, knobs to nav, and it will eventually come up in a moment, tell us how many minutes until alignment happens. Okay, so Alt 2 brings us further down, and we're going to go and arm the emergency lights. So switches here and cover that. Excuse me, I've got a really bad throat at the moment. And then window heats at the top. I'm just going to move the view slightly up. I'm going to warm the windows up, and the static, pitot-static. And then we're going to go down to go and get the SimBrief route. So we're going to go back into the home screen, go to SimBrief, and you can see there's our most recent American Airlines 073. That's the one we're going to be doing. So we go fetch that, and that will obviously show you the operational flight plan. And there's shortcuts here to show various bits of the flight plan. There is no way of pushing this straight into the FMC, but I don't really mind that because I like programming FMCs. So we should be good. Okay, so having done that, we're going to go over to the fuel section. So go back into here, go to Ground Ops, go to Load, and then we can... That should be reflecting what's in the flight plan because we've just loaded it. So we can say it load instantly and start, and the people and the fuel are now on board the aeroplane. Okay. So then we're going to go down to the FMC, and it hasn't started up yet. That's rather interesting. So it may take a while. It might take a few minutes until it fires up. Let's have a play with some options. So you can see the screens have come up. They're very dim at the moment. Oh, actually, we can get to this. It's just the brightness. But before we get any further, let's go and look at brightnesses. So there's the knob here. We'll do the brightness of the primary flight display. There's another one down here. We'll do the navigation display there. And then, yeah, so I misled you there. You need to go and rotate this knob. And it is here. Look, it just needs the brightness turning up. Okay, so we need to set the IRS position. I'm going to cheat slightly just for this demo flight. You can get this from your gate position, for example, off the charts, but I'm going to go and fetch this position here. If we clear this out, you can see I haven't got the latest nav data, and I've just deleted that, so key that back in. So we've picked up the last position, and we'll drop that into the IRS position. The reference airport where we are in the world is KCAE. So KCAE, drop that into the reference, and then we can go on to route. KCAE will be carried over from the initialization page, so that we can go and drop that into origin. We're going down to KMIA. So KMIA. We can give our flight number, so we are AAL073, drop that into there. Runway we're taking off from, what does it say on here? Runway 05, according to this. And then we can start putting the route in. I'm going to go and defer to the SimBrief route for this. So if we go to the dispatch system in SimBrief, we can open this up for the page, view the current flight plan. So here we go, look, it's not actually too bad at all. We go direct to Wurfel. Okay, so first thing we do then is just WURFL, and we put that straight in the 2, so it does direct to Wurfel. And then we go via airway Q83 to Jeved. So, where's Q? Q83 to Jeved. And drop that in. And then we go in the next page. And then we go Q97 to Debril. Q97 to DEBRL, and then it's the star on the star, and then the approach onto runway 12. So C style 3. So let's go do that next. So if we activate the route we've programmed in and execute it, then we go to departure and arrival. We'll do the departure first. So we're taking off runway 05 and we're doing direct, so there is nothing to do there. So we go back to index, we go to the arrival into Miami, and we're going runway 12, so we want ILS for runway 12. And then I've already checked there isn't a transition that hooks up neatly, so we'll have some bits and pieces to clean up along the way. C-Style 3. So yeah, I haven't got the correct database, so we'll sort that out another day. And we'll execute that. It's interesting that I don't have the database, because I thought I went and updated it. But there we go. Hopefully this won't be so different. Okay, so having done that, we can go into the init refs, and this is where it gets to be fun. So once you've loaded your aeroplane, if you click in this blank area, it gives you some numbers which are super useful. So we've got the zero fuel weight, so gross weight, zero fuel weight. So zero fuel, 46.1. And that calculates then the gross weight for you. Reserves, we can go and check that from the operational flight plan. So obviously we could do this on the tablet, or we can have it in a tab in a browser. So if we go and open the, I did click on it, didn't I? View PDF. Yeah, there we go. So final, so 1.2. 1.2. No, not 12. 1.2. Put that into reserves. Cost index was 10. I'll get the tab order correct in a moment. So this is very, very similar to every 7.3 you've ever seen, really. And then it's flight level 360 by the look of it, isn't it? Let's just double check that here. 36,000 feet, yeah. So 360 is our cruise altitude, and 18,000 feet is transition altitude. We're in America. Excuse me. Takeoff. So outside air temperature, let's go and use some of our toys to find this stuff out. So if we go to Columbia Metro information, open airport, go to the weather, and we can find out the current temperature on the ground is 32 centigrade, my word, toasty. 32, and drop that in, and pre-flight is complete. We do want to put the V-speeds in though, so we can see this hasn't actually given them, which is a shame. If I go and press shift and space and then come back over here and go into performance, and I'm just going to double check KCAE. So we need to make sure that the code here is correct. KCAE. Done. and then choose the departure runway, which was runway 05. Where are we? Runway 05, it's already chosen it. And that's given us the numbers straight away. Look, 149, 151, 156. Let me just double check that again. 149, 151, 156. So 149, 151, 156. Okay, so having done that, I'm not sure if that will update this any further, no. But that does give us the trim anyway, because it's got the weight calculations, so we can go and set 4.5 on the trim. So we're just spinning this. So this makes sure the aeroplane will be in equilibrium as it goes down the runway. There's 3, there's 4.5. Okay, that's that done. So we've programmed the route, we've done the departure and arrival, we've resolved, oh, we haven't resolved discontinuities. Let's go and have a look. So if we go and have a look through the route, yeah, we knew there was going to be a discontinuity along the way. So that's C-Stal to Yakko. If we go and have a look at that on the map, just to familiarise ourselves with where that happens, I think it's right down at the end. Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's is there? So we're going direct to Werfel. Debrel, then a discontinuity. Let's go and have a look at that. I'm just going to making sure that I understand what's going on. There's Debrel. That's interesting. So we got as far as Debrel. Oh, there must have been a transition. Oh, we didn't have the database update, did we? So maybe it's that. We'll just close the gap up. So if we select C-Stal, did that do that? There we go. Previous, and then select there. That closes the gap. Execute. Next page. Next page. Next page. And that's going all the way down to the runway. Look, without any further discontinuities. That's interesting though, because there is a vector there, look, on the way in, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. We'll probably get vectored anyway. So if I press legs, it goes straight up to the top of the flight plan. Okay. So we've done the performance data, we've done the trim, we haven't done a gross flight plan check yet. So to do that, you can go and switch the mode here to plan mode. And that gives you your step marker on the legs page. And then obviously if you look over here, we've now got alignment as well. If we want to change the zoom, by the way, so at the moment this is showing, what is it, 10 miles maybe? Yeah. Let's take it out to 40 miles. And then we can step through the route. And you can see it changing over here as we step, 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 heading south, step, 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 and then you'll see the vectors there, look, between the end of the star. So step, step, step. So it carries on in a straight line where we expect a left turn, but that's where the tower gets involved, I guess. Okay, so that all looks good. So we'll go and put this back on to map mode and bring it back down to 10 miles just for the departure. And we can get on with other things. So, shift and space. We want to look at the mode control panel now. So, we want to make sure the flight director's on. We're going to set the initial heading to the runway direction. It was 50 degrees, I think, wasn't it? Let's go and double check that. So, 52 degrees in reality. So, we're going to go and change the heading. Interesting, why have we got no power to the... That is a mystery. Okay, maybe we'll come back to this. Oh, it is working, it's just not very bright. So we need to find the controls for the brightness of everything. Let's go and have a look around. Everything's been turned down, hasn't it? So there's... Let me get the yoke out of the way. Will it move? There we go. So we're going to go on a journey now. There we go. It was the first knob I went for, look. Panel and ADOS floodlights. There's some more back here as well for panel brightness for these ones. And we'll just go and show you that. Whoops. So all the numbers have come up super bright. Good. Okay, so that's something I've missed off my checklist. I need to go and update that to make sure it covers it. So we're going to go and change this to 50 degrees or 52 degrees for our initial heading. You will find, or I've certainly found while exploring the aeroplane, you can go LNav, or you should be able to go LNav straight away actually. Why is it not allowing me to? That's interesting. Yeah, so lateral and vertical navigation, you may not be able to use them until the aeroplane's in flight and up and running. We need an initial altitude, so we'll go and get our clearance done now with say intentions and go talk to the ground. So ATIS, is it going to start working? 12015, yes it is.
9 or 9 or 2.
Yeah, it's working.
Density altitude 2200 feet.
We've got information Quebec,
Advise
that's
on
all we're
course
really
heading,
worried about at the moment.
Altitude, and if flight following is requested.
So
read back all runway.
If I go over to, we want clearance, don't we? There we go. Clearance frequency 119975. Okay, let's go and ask for clearance. Clearance, American Airlines 073 requesting clearance to Miami with information Quebec.
Grumman 867 cleared to Miami.
Oh,
Radar
I haven't changed
vectors
my name.
Warfel.
Let's go fix that.
Climb and maintain
I'll show you how to fix that in say
4000.
intentions
Expect
while we're
flight
at it.
level 36010 minutes after departure on 124.15. Squawk 1173. Expect runway 5.
Right, so within here you can go to aircraft call sign for say intentions, and obviously yeah, you can see I had not set up our call sign. So you can go new, and I can say American, and I can put the tail number in. I just want 073, and I can click on auto, and that means then the controllers will call me the right name from now on. Cleared to Miami, radar vectors were full, then as filed, climb and maintain 4000, expect flight level 36010 minutes after departure, departure on 124.15, squawk 1173, expect runway 5, American 073.
American 073, read back correct.
Hooray, they're calling us the right name now.
1.9 or safe flight, sir.
So I've got a question in the live stream just as a bit of a diversion. Hi Jonathan, quick question. Haven't had the time to watch your ATR videos yet. Do you have an updated checklist for them after the update for sale on your page? Yes, I do. I've updated them for the latest version 2024. Yeah, so it all works.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard.
Okay, so we're going to go to radio check just while we're messing around with the airplane. Departure 12415, squawk. Okay, squawk 1173. Let's go do that.
Stowing your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, please feel free to reach out to any member of our crew. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today.
73.
We wish you a pleasant journey.
And we're going to put this to, actually we'll leave it on standby, that's the TCAS, and that's on transponder number 1, that's all good. So okay, that's done that. We need to set the altitude to 4000, for our initial climb out. They'll probably give us a higher altitude before we get there, but we'll sort that. We can also go and uncage the standby attitude indicator. We can calibrate the altimeters and just press comma to shortcut doing that. Okay, so Alt 2 gives us fasten seatbelts to on. We're getting ready to push back basically. So we got seatbelts to auto, no smoking to auto. Your damper can go on. We're going to set the flight altitude to 36,000, not 34. And we're going to put aft fuel pump number 1 on. And we're going to turn the APU on. So if we slide the switch down to start and hold it there for a second, you saw the needle move immediately. But then that needle will climb round and then fall back, and then the bus transfer light will come on for the APU. So at the moment we're running on ground power. So we just wait for that to happen. It shouldn't take too long. Should we have a look outside? Probably hear it. So the doors come open. Something's changing over there. Oh, it's that guy walking, or that girl, sorry, walking around the reflection, isn't it? I was wondering if we were going to get hot air pouring out. So we're watching the needle here, and we're waiting for the bus transfer to come up. Give it a few moments. Things seem to take a lot longer than the newer versions of the 737. It's dropping back down, and then once it evens out, then this should light up. There we go. So now we can switch over to using the APU for generating electricity, which means we can disengage ground power. So we can go back over to the tablet, go back to ground ops, go to doors and remove the GPU from the aeroplane, remove the chocks from the aeroplane, making sure I've got my parking brake on. And then overhead, while we're waiting for that, we go and put the anti-collision lights to on. So that's all good. So then we can do pushback at this point if we wish to. Before we do that, I'm going to go and turn all of the fuel pumps on. We don't need the rear fuel pumps because center fuel pumps, because we're not carrying any fuel in the center tanks. Okay, so APU is running, we're using it. Let's go and do pushback. So, I need to go, if I'm doing this properly, we're going to do it via say intentions, aren't we? So we're going to go to ground 121.9. Ground American 073 requesting pushback and engine start. So I've got a comment about the old eyebrow windows.
073, push and start approved, tail east.
Push and start approved, tail east 073. So I've not tried this yet. Should we have a go? There's a tug controller here, so we can call the tug. Presumably it's going to do its own thing, or is this one going to start moving? What's going to happen? And also let's go and have a look at a map. See where we are on the ground. So there's us. We need to face east, so the tail needs to go to the left. So connect the tug. Slow, isn't it? And it's obviously not using this one, or not as far as I can see. So then we can start the push and we can go backwards. Oh, it lifts the nose though. That's cool. 'Cause that's what it should do. It's a shame there's no commentary though. Can we press it more than once to go faster? No, it just goes the speed it's going to go.
Beechcraft 0 Tango X-ray, runway 23 taxi via Echo Charlie, Charlie 1.
So we want the tail to go to the left.
Echo Charlie, Charlie
Ladies
1,
and
Beechcraft
gentlemen,
0 Tango
welcome
X-ray.
aboard American Airlines Flight 073, departing from Columbia Metropolitan Airport to Miami International Airport. Our estimated flight time is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Please pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration.
Okay, so
which
while
contains
we're waiting for that to
important
happen,
information even for our frequent flyers.
we can
Fasten
go
your
and
seatbelts
put the
by
APU
inserting
bleed
the metal
on,
tip into the
and we
buckle
can
and pulling the
open
strap
the
to
isolation valve. Otherwise,
The
we
seatbelt
don't
must be
get any
fastened
air
whenever the seatbelt sign
through.
is illuminated.
So that's something that's new
Please return your
compared to the
seatbacks and tray
TMDGs,
tables
that
to the upright
this is in the
position
closed
and
position
ensure
by
window
default.
blinds are open for takeoff and landing. Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to
And
flight
let's
mode.
have a look. Are we facing
Laptops
east
and
yet?
larger
No, we're not.
devices should be securely stowed during
I'm going to do
takeoff
this
and
slowly
landing.
and methodically. I'm not going to
Smoking and
rush,
the use of
because you could start the
e-cigarettes are
engines while you're being pushed
prohibited
back.
anywhere on board, including the lavatories. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if needed. Pull the mask firmly, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. Life vests are located under your seat or between the seats. To use, pull it out, place it over your head and fasten it. Inflate only after leaving the
So
aircraft.
the reason they don't
Special
have the
life
quarter
vests
windows
for children
anymore
are
is they're
available.
expensive to fit.
Floor
They were
level
there
lighting will
for
guide you
astral
to the nearest
navigation.
exit, which is clearly
But
marked.
seeing as we never
There are
use
2
that
exits
anymore,
at
we
the front
just have
and 2 at the rear
GPS.
of the
There's no
aircraft.
reason to have them.
The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of
stop the
evacuation,
push.
leave all personal belongings behind and follow the crew's instructions immediately. If a power bank or any
And
electronic
then I
device
presume
becomes
we-
unusually warm
oh, we
or
disconnect
shows
down
signs
here,
of
okay.
damage, please inform a crew member immediately.
So let's put the parking,
Safety
make sure
information
parking
card
brake
in
is
your
on.
seat
Yes, it
pocket
is. Look,
contains all
the
details. Thank you for your attention and
lever
wish
is
you a
up.
pleasant flight.
So we've got the APU bleed on. We've got the isolation valve open, so we should be able to just go and rotate that to GRD. We can see, there we go, numbers are coming up. N2 is coming up. We're waiting for above 20. People these days will say 25, so we'll wait for 25, and then when we get to 25 we advance the starter lever. So we're watching the number on the N2, that's the axle speed, so that's the compressed air from the APU spinning up the engine. There we go, it just went through 25. Advance the starter, so that introduces fuel and ignites it, so exhaust gas temperature goes through the roof and the turbofan starts spinning as well. Yeah, so if anybody was wondering why the old aeroplanes used to have the quarter windows, it was for astral navigation as a backup. Because remember, before GPS came along, if you were doing a long trip, if you lost your navigation radios, you're in trouble. Okay, so engine number 2 is up and running. So then we can go engine number 1 and watch the N2 coming up. You see it's happening outside as well. (23, 24, 25) and introduce the fuel, and up it goes. And you should see, we can get rid of that by the way, we should see the switch go back to off all on its own. There we go, it's done. So engines are now running, APU bleed is no longer required, so that can come off. We can switch over electricity generation to the engines now, which we have just done, which means we can now turn off the APU. So APU is now off. Put the logo light on while we're here. Let's go and put the packs on now. Now the pressurization system can be used just to pressurize the cabin. We can go and turn the hydraulic pumps on. I'm just trying to think what else we haven't done. Fuel pumps are good. It's looking good overhead, isn't it? So that's all fine. I've gone off script, by the way. Years and years ago, I used to fly the 7.3 in X-plane all the time, so it would be quite a shock if I couldn't remember how to operate it. Okay, so flaps to takeoff position. So normally it would be 5 degrees on a 7.3. And there we go. Well, that's what the calculations will have centered on. So then we put our taxi lights on. And we should be good to go. So I need to go and get taxi clearance to runway 05, don't I? So let's have a look at the runway just to have a look. So 5 is down here. I'm just going to double check that is what we were told. Expect runway 5, yes. So we need to go to talk to ground again. We were already talking to ground. Ground American Airlines 073 requesting taxi to runway 05.
American 073, runway 5 taxi via Alpha Alpha Foxtrot. Hold short of runway 29er.
Taxi via Alpha Alpha Foxtrot. Hold short runway 29er 073. So we'll stop at Alpha 6 as it says here. Okay, so Alpha, first right is Alpha 6. Let's see how we get on. Head tracking on. Toe brakes on to release the parking brake. Oh, did I? You know what I haven't done? Let's go and have a look. Ground ops. Doors. I didn't remove the chocks. Or maybe I did. Doors. Okay, so why is it not moving? Oh, it's just the throttle back, isn't it? So parking brake is off. That's interesting. The throttles aren't quite aligned. Oh, you know what might have happened? I'm just going to go and check something. Controls. So this could happen to you as well. Quadrant, yeah, it's got the wrong profile. So every livery is a different aeroplane. So I'm going to leave it on the PMDG, same profile as the PMDG. So that's why the throttles are going mad. Because it hadn't configured the throttles. Now they're behaving now, look. So yeah, there's something worth noting about this fleet of aeroplanes. Every livery is a different airframe. I do like the thumping sounds as we go over the tiles in the ground. Obviously this is one of the stock airfields, so it's not super accurate. It's a bit of a shame, but we'll put up with it. Okay, so we're creeping along the taxiway and we go Alpha 6 and then hold short.
073, cross runway 29er, then continue taxi via Bravo, Bravo 1.
Crossing runway 29er and we'll continue taxi 073. There's obviously nothing around to get in our way.
Approaching runway 29.
There is somebody flying around. So then we carry on right along Bravo to Bravo 1, which is down there. So yeah, originally when this aeroplane first came out, I had no plans on buying it because I thought it was overly expensive for what it was. But then temptation got the better of me late last night while talking to somebody, because they said, "Have you written the procedure for this one yet?" And I said, "No, I haven't." And now I have. so I've done pushback. Let's go and double check what I need to do next. So I've started the engines. We've switched the packs on. We haven't put TCAS on yet, which is, yeah, we won't do that until we're lining up on the runway really. So that's slightly out of order. Let me just double check. So I'm going to turn head tracking off for a moment and press Alt 5. Alt 6. So we're looking at the transponder only. There we go, look. So that will report our position. That's what we wanted. So that is correct. So flaps are in takeoff position. Auto brake I've just switched to rejected takeoff, which basically supercharges the rams on the air brakes and on the hydraulic systems for the wheel brakes. Taxi to runway as required. We are doing that right now. So once we get into position, we'll go and switch TCAS to TA mode so it broadcasts our position. We will also go and set the lights up. So strobes will go on, landing lights on, and so on and so forth. Excuse me. I sound really rough, don't I? Bizarre thing is I feel okay. I caught this on the way back from Flight Sim Expo, by the way. It took a few days to show up. It was the guy next to me in the aeroplane on the way home. I spent 8 hours sitting next to him. He kept coughing and sneezing without covering his mouth.
Have a good afternoon.
I very nearly had words with him, but I thought, no, I don't want to cause a scene on an aeroplane. It was already too late by then, obviously. So we just had the call contacting tower 119.5. A good day. Tower American Airlines 073 approaching holding point for runway 05.
American 073 Columbia Metropolitan Airport Tower runway 5 cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, American 073. So while we're rolling, let's see if we can be smart about this.
Approaching
No, we
runway
can't.
5.
And hey, that's good. I'm still getting used to taxiing it. It's a little bit odd. Okay. So, the immediate act will be to do a right turn after we take off to go direct for
runway 5 remaining.
where we want to be going. Unless we want to go and modify the route slightly to make our life easy. We're rolling, by the way. We could put Pommy out in front of us, couldn't we? Let me just bring us to a stop. Just to give us a few seconds before the flight really gets going. If we go into Lex and put Pomie, because we've got a direct to, and that's 84 miles away. If we put that in front of us, and then, oh, interesting, what's that done? No, we won't do that one. That's interesting. It didn't push Wurfel down. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm going to leave it alone. We'll put up with it, and we'll just rejoin the route while we're doing it. Okay, so parking brake off, and it's off here. Okay, that didn't come back on. That's interesting. That behaves differently than the later 7.3s. So let's go and arm the auto throttles. Well, we should have done that earlier actually. And the click spot is going to be so small it's going to cause us to zoom on it, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. Cannot hold the click spot to do that. I'm going to have to just get on with it. Okay, full throttle. You ideally want about 10 knots more than your V2. It's doing it again, look. Anyway, okay. Let's concentrate on what we're doing now. Gone a little bit early. I thought we were getting quite late on the wrong way.
Contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9er for ground, Envoy 4134.
Didn't want to take off, did it? That's interesting. It was a 3-position lever and it went straight to the up position on one roll of the mouse.
American 073, contact Columbia departure on 124.15.
Ooh, we're overspeeding. My word, it's fast. Contacting Columbia departure 124.15 American 073. Columbia departure American 073 with you climbing to 4,000 feet.
American 073, Columbia departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 10,000, turn right heading 185, direct Wurfel when able, then is filed.
Turning right, direct to Wurfel when able, 073. Why is that? Oh, because the autopilot kicked off because I went and took over. That's why. It's fine. We're back in control. I'll just fly it manually for a bit until we get on route.
Climb and maintain flight level 210.
Climbing flight level 210, 073. So this is where you could really do with a co-pilot. I'm going to turn off the head tracking because it's a pain in the backside when you're trying to do things accurately. And of course this is going to go in hundreds at a time. But can I just hold the mouse? Yes, I can. Okay, accelerate slowly but not in a predictable way. 210 and we'll go and what flight direction are we going? Have we turned enough yet? Let's have a quick look. No. We're getting there. Because we can just do direct to Wurfel. That's another way of doing this. And here comes the rain. I didn't notice that when we were on the ground. Anyway. So if we go... Yeah, we just want an intercept course for the moment, which is fine. Can we select the heading? No, we can't. So we're going to have to, it'd be quicker to go the opposite way around, wouldn't it? Let's bringing the heading bug round. Whoa, and it went straight past. So let's go heading mode, autopilot on, flight level change, and then we can sort out the routing. This is one of the pains of doing things single-handed. So if we want to go direct whirlfall, we could. Well, having it at the top of the screen is the same thing in a Boeing. So we could just go LNAV now, and it should go straight to whirlfall for us. Oh, it's probably going to put itself on an intercept for this though at 45 degrees. Is it going to straighten up? No, it isn't. Okay, I'm not going to let it.
American 073, climb and maintain flight level 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 260, American 073.
Departure November 15, Yankee Zulu 2000 for 4000.
November 15, Yankee Zulu, Columbia departure, radar contact, VFR, navigation.
3000, November 15, Yankee Zulu.
The auto throttle will not arm. Oh, you have to hold it on. And now it will arm. So now I can go and increase the speed to 250. This has been interesting.
Dear guests, we are pleased to inform you that the use of approved electronic devices is now permitted in flight mode. Our cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy the flight with American Airlines.
November 15, Yankee Zulu, contact Kansas City Center on 127.7.
It's not accelerating to 250 knots very
November
quickly, is
15,
it?
Yankee Zulu. Good day.
I'm going to have to deal with this, Laura. Okay, you can still hear me, can't you? Yeah. Sorry, I'm having to deal with several things here. I'm not
American
looking at the computer the whole
climb
time.
and maintain flight level 300.
That's bizarre. The flaps haven't gone up. Oh, now they have. They just took an awful long time to go up. And now we're obviously going the wrong direction. And apparently now my daughter's not speaking to me because I wouldn't stop to doing this. This is what caused this all to go wrong, by the way. But we won't talk about that. 15,000, we're through our altitude constraints, so I'm miles behind the airplane now because of everything going on in the room that you can't see. That's why I had to cut my microphone there for a while and why the airplane went wildly out of control. Oh, getting back on track now. So this is not the textbook way to fly this thing. This is what happens at home when things are happening in the room around you and you're being called upon in the middle of leaving the runway. Lateral navigation is working. Hurrah. Now what's it going to do though? I don't trust it for 1 second at the moment. Look what it's doing. The next waypoint is whirlfall. I don't trust it. We're going to go back to heading select mode.
American 073, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain 360, flight level 360, American 073. That stopped working now. So that's our cruise altitude that they've just given us access to. We also need to go and change the barometric pressures now. We've just bust the...
Contact Jacksonville Center on 120.125.
There's one of me here. Contacting Jacksonville Center 120.125, American 073. Jacksonville Center, American Airlines 073 with you climbing flight level 360. And then we'll try and get the barometric pressure sorted out.
American 073, Jacksonville Center, good afternoon.
Oh, it's already good. It's 2992. It must have been on the ground as well. This is the weirdest thing I've seen in quite some time in the sim. So we have to look down here in this version of the 7.3 to increase the range. And there's our flight plan. So we can go and get the heading going in the right direction. So the thing I don't understand here is to do a direct to in a Boeing, you just make sure the first waypoint in the list of legs should be the one you're going to be going directly towards. Okay, so on this model of the aeroplane you have to do it that way. And that's working now. So it's not as clever as the newer Boeings. It's good to see that though, isn't it? And the click spots don't stay in place when you're rolling the knobs in this thing. As you can see, I had enormous problems with the speed, didn't I? On the runway. I was holding the mouse without any head movement and it kept disengaging the click spot. These are all things you learn to fight and win against slowly. Let's go and turn the brightnesses up. And turn the brightness up for this side as well, so they will be over here. Of course you can't actually see them while you're doing it. That one is that, and the bottom one here is the base one. There you go. We now have instruments for the co-pilot to see as well. It's like being Spider-Man, isn't it? Jumping around the cockpit, being two people at once, and then someone walks into the room while you're flying on the simulator, so you're then three people at once, and you start to fail spectacularly in the middle of the aeroplane throwing curveballs at you.
Jacksonville Center, Mach 797.
We got there in the end though. So it's showing the green banana there, so we're going to reach cruise altitude just before Wurfel. That was not the textbook way to depart. Look at this. Look. Oh my word. Learning the aeroplane as we go. Learning the... so half the battle with this is not actually getting the aeroplane started, because it works just like any other 7.3. It's those few little bits and pieces about the systems. So I'm guessing because we had a direct to immediately on the start of the flight plan, that's why we couldn't go LNAV to begin with. Because it had no constraints or anything to work with. That's interesting. So you would need a SID to get LNAV to work by the look of it. Unless you go and do the direct to intercept immediately, and then that would allow you to use it. So let's go a bit faster. We may as well. Mach 0.75. So it's running the engines at 80% at the moment, and it's levelled out at 28,000 feet now. Why is it done?
On to 128.525, southwest 123.
Is that purely to favour getting the speed up? It is, isn't it? So it's staying level, and now it's climbing again.
Dear guests, the cabin crew will now begin the snack and beverage service. We invite you to enjoy our popular items, including the delicious chicken salad.
It's a shame there's a glitch with the card here. I'll get rid of it. We don't need it there anyway. But if you, I don't know if you noticed the triangles of the surface are showing through the card now and again. So what can we get in here? We can get to Navigraph charts. So we're going to some way further down the coast. Just having a look at the where this comes in. It's going to be fun, isn't it? KMIA, that's all we need to know for the moment. And it didn't take it. I typed more quickly than it would register. And we want to look for the star, and we're coming in on the C-Style 3, but we said that, oh, there is a C-Style 3. Okay, so there's the star, so we've got access to it. Why it bounces around, I'll never know. So we've got some constraints in play. Be interesting to try that out with VNav on the way in. So obviously we're just doing an open climb up to 360. It's interesting that it's not giving me much power. Do you think level change would... Yeah, the auto throttle's not working. It's engaged, but it's not... How weird. So hold it on, it goes green. I mean, it's working now. Oh, I guess the proof will be when we get to 360, is it going to pull the throttles back?
Texas Center, JetBlue 2324, flight level 370.
It's interesting, isn't it, how many things you learn very quickly when you need to. So, I'm looking at the comments here in the live stream, and you saw me have some difficulties. Half of that was due to things going on in the room here that you couldn't see. I didn't want to say to begin with that they were happening. But yeah, at the exact moment things started to go astray, I was having to deal with something here, answering questions from the kids and stuff. Things like the behaviour of the systems, they may be accurate. That may be how it works. I don't know. So having a direct 2 as a first leg, you may have to go direct via the FMC. Maybe LNAV won't behave itself in that regard. The throttles are working, look. They weren't earlier though. That was weird. And it was lit up. So it was climbing much more slowly than it could have. Obviously it's winding out the vertical speed now nicely.
Jacksonville Center, Blue Street 5420, flight level 190.
Did I turn the landing lights off? Yes, I did.
5420, Jacksonville Center.
Didn't turn the taxi light off though. And the click spots are really odd on the switches. So in many ways I kind of see this airplanes like this as a challenge. So obviously I don't know if it's accurate or not, but finding the route to make it get from A to B smoothly is half the fun for me, of knowing that if you operate it in a particular way it will be okay. Whether it is accurate or not is another question, and you would have to be a 737-300 pilot to know that. And again, even within a 300, the exact fit out of the kit is going to be different from aeroplane to aeroplane, which is one of the things the PMDGs do really well. Well, you know, where you can swap out the various panels, so you can have newer or older versions of bits of hardware inside the cockpit. Okay, so we're doing Mach 0.75, we're at 36,000 feet, we are on cruising out towards, look at the throttles kicking in, what's happening? So we don't get a wind readout like we do on the newer 73s. Oh, we do, it's down here, sorry. They moved it to the top, didn't they, on the later 73s. So you got bearing and speed. It is interesting though to me. I find everything interesting, that's half my problem. It's interesting to see the differences and how they evolved. So these instruments are very similar to the McDonnell Douglas instruments that you'll see them in the MD-80 family. These screens are a bit newer. Obviously this is all the old stuff. And this is almost certainly, this is the same unit that they fitted in them years and years later.
American 073, traffic at your 12 o'clock 3 miles, at flight level 380737.
We didn't put TCAS TARA on, did we? And we haven't put TFC on. So let's see if that works. I'm expecting to see an aeroplane 3 miles off our nose, like almost on top of us. There they are. I hadn't turned it on. It's interesting, isn't it? This is obviously the first flight I've done in the aeroplane after figuring out how to start the thing up. And it's amazing how much you learn and how quickly you learn it about a particular aeroplane in those first few minutes, just as you're kind of shaking out how the controls actually work and what modes work and, you know, how to get it to do what you want it to do. That was fascinating on the way out. And of course, at the same time that I was having a few issues with sorting the aeroplane out, we ran into a bank of rain and couldn't see where we were going. So obviously I had to go and look at the instruments and realised, okay, we're hurtling towards the ground, let's sort that out, shall we? And then we oversped and had to sort that out, and it was good fun for a few minutes. The RJs, I've not had any issues with the RJs, they're fine on my machine. The BAE 146s as well, which obviously was the predecessor. They've been absolutely fine on my machine, and they've always behaved impeccably. So I have no doubt a second flight in this and it'll look smooth, because I'll be working around how I know it behaves. But yeah, that was unexpectedly entertaining. Okay, I'm going to go make a coffee. Oh, I see what you mean, sorry. The systems are the same in the old 7.3s. Yes, they are. Yeah, so the hardware for reporting stuff, it's all very, very similar, isn't it? Across many different airplane types, actually. There's obviously only so many manufacturers of the different bits and pieces.
Would you like anything to drink or a small snack?
We're good, thank you.
Thank you, Captain. I'll continue to monitor the cabin.
Yeah, I wonder, in first flights in airliners going forwards, I wonder if I should take them out to some sort of proving ground and get the systems down first before trying to fly a route, just to figure out how it behaves. We don't need the brakes on anymore either.
Jacksonville Center, Delta 3133, flight level 290.
Delta 3133, Jacksonville Center identified.
Jacksonville Center, Southwest 1309, flight level 380.
See, I went and loaded the American thinking that it would be metal, but I'm guessing American were painted grey as well. So was it only the MD-11s that, oh sorry, the MD-80s that had the bare metal finish? We're going to have a little bit of a wait
Jacksonville Center, Giant 6075, flight level 260.
until we're near top of descent. So we got about
75, Jacksonville Center identified.
250 miles to go. 260 including the bend. So I'm going to go and find out what all the drama was that happened during takeoff, and I'll be back in a few minutes.
Jacksonville Center, Chancellor 8 Sierra Romeo, flight level 190.
Chancellor 8 Sierra Romeo, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Jacksonville Center, Delta 1243, flight level 310.
Delta 1243, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Jacksonville Center, Delta 2775, flight level 280.
Delta 2775, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Okay, I'm back. So I'm being asked the question, is there any reason I haven't put the lever up? Back down even, sorry. No, there is no reason. Other than you just saw, I just tried to roll the mouse on it. You have to click it in this case. The interesting thing, when I clicked it to raise it earlier, it went straight from down to up. So it only goes to the off position when clicking downwards. If you click upwards from the down position, it goes straight to up. So that's an interesting one. We have a discrepancy in the fuel. That's because of running on the APU for a little while earlier. Because we used the left rear tank to... We used, the aft tank to feed the APU. So, what do we get in the way of data? Do we get fuel burn down? Yes, we do. Excellent. So, KMIA should have 9 tons left. Oh, what was that popped up? It didn't stay up long enough to see it. Interesting. Next page. Crosswind. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's just doing calculations, that's all. So what else can we get at in here? Does it do holds? Yes, it does.
Frontier Flight 3037, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Let me just check that say intentions were calling me while I was out.
1668, flight level 250.
American 1668, Jacksonville Center, roger.
No clouds around. Oh, I say that and then look at the front and there are some clouds. I wonder if the radar works. Shall we try it? So, at the moment we're showing 80 miles. We'll pull that back to 40. It's interesting that this has an auto mode.
Jacksonville Center, Virgin 92 Echo, flight level 190. Virgin 92 Echo, Jacksonville Center, roger.
So I'm just being nosy, having a look to see what switches and what kit is fitted on this particular model. So there's the weather radar on. I think that's going to be a test signal, or am I wrong about that? No, there's definitely something there. Oh, here we go, yeah, so that's the test signal. So that's the weather radar on, and you can see it sweeping now actually, if you look really carefully. Yeah, it's showing it something out there, look. It's quite pixelated. Let's increase the range out to 80 miles again. Yeah, so you can see it. So can we tilt it?
American 073, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85.
Contacting Jacksonville Center, 134.85, American 073, good day. American 073 with you at flight level 360. I should have put the station name there, shouldn't I? Whoops. Isn't it funny, once you get disrupted on something, it's difficult to get back into it. Let's call them properly. Jacksonville Center, American 073 with you, flight level 360.
American 073, Jacksonville Center. Good afternoon.
I wonder if they'll come back twice. I haven't looked around the cabin yet, have I? All I've done is sat in the cockpit, panicking. Let's go and have a look. See, the cabin is built really nicely. This brings back some memories. I think I went on some 7.3s like this years and years ago. Is that door swinging around of its own accord? It is, isn't it? Better get back through it quickly. Okay, so aeroplane's behaving itself now, which is always good. No, we just on departure, that was obviously just a bit in unfamiliarity with the aeroplane, a bit of saturation as well with searching for things, not understanding that some things are clickable, some things you could roll the mouse on. Some of the click spots are really, really finicky, which doesn't help, you know, when you're being forced to do multiple things at once. Got there in the end though. Makes you realise how straightforward or how well tuned the PMDG 7.3s are, and the Zebo mod in X-Plane 11 as well. So are we suspecting then that they've come up with this colour scheme because they didn't know how to do silver? Or maybe there were 7.3s that were painted grey. I don't know. The engines make a very strange sound. Reminds me of the monsters, or the Martians from War of the Worlds. How are we doing on the route? Over halfway now. Just passing Jacksonville. So let's see if we can bring the aeroplane home in a much more predictable, smooth, reliable manner than we departed. That would be good.
Jacksonville Center, Allegiant 1855, flight level 370.
Allegiant 1855, Jacksonville Center, roger.
American 073, expect the Coastal 3 arrival. Debrol transition. Anticipate descent in about 20 minutes. Notify if you're ready to descend before that.
Expecting the Seastal 3 arrival with the Debrol transition. American 073 will call you when we begin descent.
Jacksonville Center, Frontier Flight 1692, flight level 300.
Frontier Flight 1692, Jacksonville Center, roger.
I'm just thinking back through the first few seconds of the flight when navigation went up the wall. It was all to do with the Direct 2, wasn't it? And as soon as I went LNAV, it started turning away from the course. And the reason for that, it turned out, was because I had to use the Direct 2 instruction to get it to understand where we were going, because it didn't have an immediate
Jacksonville Center, Sun Country 345, flight level 340.
Yeah, it kind of made sense.
Sun Country 345, Jacksonville Center, roger.
What's turbo mode on the radar? Turbulence, not turbo. So what does map do? Not much by the sounds of it. Yeah, so I may give this aeroplane another flight later this evening, just to shake it down and to confirm the things that we saw in the first few minutes.
United 2323, Jacksonville Center, roger.
So we're making the turn.
American 073, Pirate P from about 20 minutes ago, reported occasional light chop at flight level 350.
Copy the METAR report, American 073. I'm trying to turn the microphone off every time I cough now.
Jacksonville Center, Southwest 2094, flight level 300.
Southwest 2094, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Jacksonville Center, Southwest 2211, flight level 360.
Southwest 2211, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Something we could do.
Jacksonville Center, American 2154, flight
Something we
level
could do ahead of getting to the
350.
destination is go and get the ILS sorted out.
American 2154, Jacksonville Center, roger.
So we'll be coming into the start soon. So let's go and have a look. We're expecting to come in on this runway 108.9, 124 degrees. So there's the nav radio. Look at that. The mouse wheel was over the smaller wheel, the smaller knob, and it didn't register it. Okay, these are interesting. So you don't switch between active and standby. Yeah, look at that. It's weird. I didn't move the mouse then, and it suddenly decided, oh, actually, no, I'm going to give you decimals instead of integers. So 108.9, and we want 124 degrees. So let's go and set both the courses to 124.
Jacksonville Center, American 1298, 16,000. American 1298, Jacksonville Center, identified.
Jacksonville Center, Southwest 3162, flight level 190.
And now I can't roll the mouse on that because
Southwest 3162, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Jacksonville Center, Frontier Flight 1692, flight level 370.
So when we switch over, you have to
Frontier
remember
Flight
it's down here
1692, Jacksonville Center,
to go
roger.
to VOR approach mode to get the instrumentation to change. Okay. How far are we from top of descent? Is it marked in anywhere? Open aircraft performance. I've actually got the correct one there.
American 073, contact Miami Center on 119.825.
Contacting Miami Center, 119.825, American 073, good day. Miami Center, American 073 with you, flight level 360, expecting the CSTEL 3 arrival via the Debrel transition into Miami.
American 073, Miami Center, good afternoon.
So let's have a look at this and see where the constraints start. Above 240.
Miami Center, Southwest 3162, flight level 210.
Southwest 3162, Miami Center, roger.
Miami Center, American 2288, flight level 250.
American 2288, Miami Center, roger.
Miami Center, Allegiant 3164, flight level 250.
Allegiant 3164, Miami Center, roger.
So if we increase the range on the navigation display, yeah, start to see the waypoints coming, look.
Miami Center, United 1811, flight level 250.
United 1811, Miami Center, roger.
So, below 16,000 at CSTEL, okay.
Miami Center, Allegiant 3164, flight level 230.
80,000 feet times 3.
Allegiant 3164, Miami Center, roger.
54 miles. It's interesting, isn't it? If you go and have a look on LittleNavMap, obviously this doesn't take account of the constraints, but this says we can start descending here. And if we measure that, bearing in mind we're at 36,000 feet, So it doesn't need to be exact, but yeah, 54 miles, which is what I just worked out. So to drop the altitude we need to drop using the 3-to-1 ratio of 3 miles per 1,000 feet.
Center JetBlue 1694.
We need to start descending 54 miles before sea stall. I wonder if this will let us put in custom waypoints.
Sun Country 345, flight level 260.
So you can see this is 162
Miami
degrees.
Center, roger.
So the reciprocal would be 348, wouldn't it? No, 342, sorry. But anyway, so what we could do is go, let's see if I can remember how to do this. We can put a waypoint in to mark our top of descent. That's all I'm thinking, using old-fashioned methods. So you could go C-style, and then the bearing, which would be 342, and then the distance, which would be 54. And if we put that on top of C-style, no, it doesn't allow it. Oh, that's a shame. So you can't have custom waypoints. I wonder if they've done it slightly differently. I wonder if it's... No, it doesn't allow them. Normally, on a Boeing, you can put in the waypoint, and then a bearing, then a slash, and then the distance, and you can add custom
Sun
waypoints.
Country 345, Miami Center, roger.
This doesn't seem to allow it. It would have been super useful to visualize. I wonder if we can do fixes. Yeah, we can. So if we put in C-style, and then distance, so we want just slash and 54, and it should draw a circle. Yeah, that works. So now we know where to start descending. Distance to go, 26 miles until we start descending.
American 073, descend via Coastal 3 to 4000 Debrel transition into Miami. Altimeter 299er.
Descend via Coastal 3 to 4000 Debrel transition into Miami. Altimeter 299er. American 073. Should we try the VNAV out? Let's go early and try it. They just told us to start descending. So we're going to go and take this down straight to 4000. And we're going to hit the VNAV button and see what happens. So we've got LNAV and VNAV engaged. We've got an altitude marked in. Interestingly, I don't know that we can forcibly select that altitude other than just dialing it in, because that This kind of, yeah, look, it's got cell, but I don't think it's a push button. So how do you confirm it? Presumably just changing it confirms it. Let's remove or bring the range down on the navigation display a little bit. So it's actually climbing at the moment. What is it playing at? Told it to go to 4,000 foot via VNav. If we go and have a look at the legs page, it needs to be below 16,000 feet at sea style, which is what we were working out. I may have to take over if it doesn't start descending soon. Start forcibly bringing it back down to the ground. So it's now gained 1,000 feet. Can I do altitude hold where I am? If we go VNav, so I can't do altitude hold while VNav is engaged. So it's suddenly going to go for it, look. So here comes the altitude falling off, just as we come through the range we know on the 3-to-1 rule.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have left our cruising altitude and have begun our approach to Miami. We kindly ask everyone to return to your seats, stow your tray tables, and fasten your seat belts. Please note that the use of the lavatories is no longer permitted at this time.
Why have we got red lights over here? Nose gear, left gear, right gear are up, I guess. Still odd that they're red. Okay, here we go into the unknown. First approach into an airport with this aeroplane. I think we've learnt quite a lot there about how its systems behave.
Center, Moxie 855, flight level 300. Moxie 855, Miami Center, roger.
Miami Center, UPS 7938, flight level 350.
Cruise 7938, Miami Center, identified.
So, seeing as we're on our way in, we also need to go and find out what the weather's doing on the ground at Miami. 130, 10 knots, 34 centigrade, but more importantly for us, 2999. So that hasn't changed since the readout earlier. Obviously we don't do that until we get to 18,000 feet. We'll be there fairly soon. So let's go and bring the range down again. We can see not very far at all on the other side of the cockpit. Let's go and increase the range over there so we can see further. There we go. Just making sure volumes are okay. Dropping down to 27,000 feet in a few moments. So we do know, looking at the charts, that this isn't straightforward. Runway 12. We're going to be coming in on. .108.9, 124 degrees. Let's just double check that. 124 degrees and 108.9 on nav 1 and nav 2. That's looking good.
Miami Center, Frontier Flight 4230, flight level 190. Frontier Flight 4230, Miami Center identified.
So we'll be expecting
Miami Center, JetBlue 1801, flight level 340.
to come in 4,000 feet at Cape Horn.
JetBlue 1801, Miami Center, roger.
And then be given vectors in for finals. Let's hope we can hit the controls accurately enough if we're doing this, you know, using the guidance systems. The aeroplane moving around so much. Fuel dampers on. Look at this, it's rocking. Okay, we've just come down through, or about to come down to 18,000 feet, so we need to go to 2999, I believe. Just go and double check. Yeah. Oh,
American 073, contact Miami approach on 120.5.
Contacting Miami approach 120.5, American 073, good day. Miami approach, American 073 with you, descending towards 17,000 feet on the C-Stel 3 arrival with the Debrel transition into Miami, expecting runway 12.
American 073, Miami approach. Good afternoon. Miami altimeter 299er. Expect the ILS runway 12 approach into Miami. Verify information, India.
Copy information, India, expecting runway 12 ILS approach, American 073. So let's go and check the altimeter on the other side. Is, yeah, it's independent, look. So that never changed earlier. Okay, that's fine. So we're heading towards 4,000 feet, but we don't have to be at 4,000 until quite a long way further down range, so we're still on target. We're approaching 14,000, so next thing we have to worry about is at 10,000 feet we need to get the speed down to 250 knots. And then we put the landing lights on. Has this got a table anywhere of the flap speeds? I don't think it does it? That's a shame. I don't think I've got one either. Oh no, it's over here. Sorry, I've missed it completely. There it is. So, flaps 1 degree, 230 knots, 2 degrees, 230, 5 degrees, 225, 10 degrees, 210, 15, 195 knots. Okay, so at least we know where they are. So we can check that on the way in. So it's holding at 13,000 feet for the Gucci waypoint. So we're going to hold at 13,000. So VNav's working. Interesting. It's already brought the speed down to 250. So that's, again, Fendi has got the rule for 250 knots. So VNav works. The issues we had on takeoff were almost certainly just down to me not knowing about having to program for a direct waypoint to get it to start tracking it. Okay, let's bring the range down again. So we will hold at 13,000 feet until Gucci and then begin descending again above 8,000 at Romani. Shall we look outside? It's a shame, isn't it? We do all this flying in the sim, so we're flying down the coast towards Miami now. It's still wobbling, look. Very, very strange. So, Captain Ray is asking, what is the best app for cabin announcements? It's a good question. Do you want them to be stock sounds that you're just going to play, or do you want them to be completely interactive? Because if you want them to be interactive, Say Intentions is the best way of doing that, in my opinion. Look at this aeroplane rocking back and forth. But if you just want the ability to play sounds going on in the aeroplane, there are several other options around. But if you want them to actually make sense, Say Intentions is brilliant. Because it not only does the ATC, it does the cabin crew and the co-pilot. So although I can't see a co-pilot rendered next to me, I've obviously got Amanda chosen as my co-pilot today, so I can talk to her, for example. I can talk to the cabin crew as well. Hi cabin crew, we're getting fairly close to the airport now. Can we get the cabin sorted out, please?
Copy, Captain. Cabin is secure and crew are taking seats now.
See,
American
you can't
073
do
is
that.
letting you know, about 37 minutes ago we had an aircraft near you report moderate chop at flight level 140.
Copy weather report 073. So here we go. We're getting towards the business end of this now, look. So we should start descending after we come through Gucci. It's interesting, we haven't reached Gucci and it's already taking it off the top line of the display. Will it do the same with... Blimey. No, it's okay. But we are descending again now, which is good. And it wants us to retard. So let's go and help the aeroplane a little bit. First time I've used the spoilers. And they haven't done anything. Oh, there we go. So I had to go 3 steps back on this spoiler before anything happened outside. I see what people mean about it being stuttery. Jumping between the outside and the inside view. The frame rate stuttered enormously. Okay, we're creeping up above 250 knots, which is not great, especially as we're about to come down through 10,000 feet. So the airplane is not holding speed correctly. It should be holding 250 knots. Look, it's doing 270. Okay, this is bad. So I've got flaps. Oh, so I've got the spoilers out as far as I can. It's still not doing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach into Miami. Please turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate.
No, that's what I would expect in a glide to get away with, but we've got spoilers out, and it's
the weather in Miami is currently
only just decelerating.
Perfect for our arrival. Our assigned gate is D21. Thank you for your cooperation as
We are
we
not going
prepare
to get
for
down in
landing.
time. Anyway, landing lights on. I hate that you have to click on these rather than just roll the mouse on them. It's annoying. It's just that it eats up time. That's the main concern in my head. We're still doing 270 knots. Look, it's taking no notice of the 250. Oh, of course, because I've gone back to... I turned off VNAV, didn't I? Because of the descent rate, and it didn't bring it back, so now it will.
American 073, you need to be below 250 knots.
We know we have a malfunction with the auto throttles, just fixing it now.
American 073, roger. Advise when resolved.
Resolved now. Speed is reducing to 250 knots, American 073. Look at it rolling. Look at that. Very strange. I may take over the autopilot. It's obviously throwing the airplane around all over the place, isn't it? Fly it in manually, maybe. Look at it bobbling. or bobbing its
American
nose.
073, turn left heading 180, descend and maintain 3,000 vectors for the ILS runway 12 approach, speed below 220 knots.
Turn left heading 180, descend and maintain 3,000 vectors for the ILS runway 12 approach, speed below 220 knots. American 073.
American 073, 6 miles from Viepco, turn left heading 160, descend and maintain 2,000 feet until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS runway 12 approach.
So let's look at it speeding up. I've got throttles, auto throttles off, throttles are on idle. They wanted us at 3,000.
Miami departure, American 833, 10,000.
Anyway.
American 833, Miami departure, roger.
Bank angle, bank angle.
Yes, I know. Now we got the auto throttle warning, about 5 minutes late. Right, that's 2,000 feet.
Miami departure, Air Canada 1206, 7,000.
Air Canada 1206,
So yeah, the
Miami
autopilot
departure,
leaves
roger.
a lot to be desired. So I need to go down here and switch this over to... There we go. We have some instruments that we can use now.
American 073, contact Miami Tower on 118.3.
Contacting Miami Tower, 118.3, American 073, good day. Miami Tower, American 073, just lining up on the localizer for runway 12. We got a bit
American
low.
073, Miami Tower, roger. Continue approach runway 12.
Continuing approach, runway 12, American 073. I'm climbing back up into
American
the...
073, number 3, behind the Dynasty 777 on short final, runway 12, winds 130 at 10, gusting 17, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 12, American 073. Okay, we got the glide slope now as well. Let's get the speed under control. Slightly off to the right, just fixing that.
United 1216, hold short of runway 8 right.
8R holding short, United 1216.
Latest 6907, when ready, contact departure.
Switching to departure, Pilatus 6907.
Where is the flap indicator? Gone high while I was busy looking for the flap indicator. Whoa, look at us being moved around. This doesn't fly right, it's very odd. I'm doing some very bizarre things to this aeroplane to keep it somewhere near the appropriate profile. It's very, very odd. Oh, there's the flap indicator over there. Just bringing the flaps in.
Approaching runway 12.
United 1216, hold short of runway 8 right.
1,000.
Holding short of runway 8 right, United 1216.
I'm forcing the flaps down on purpose because we can't slow down. I've got full spoilers and it will not slow down. Engines are on idle It's starting to think about it now. I'm having to kind of manhandle it down onto the runway.
500.
It's a good job I left this on manual. There's no way that the systems would have reacted quickly enough to do anything.
Sink brake.
And now it's started to sink. How weird is that? It's on a knife edge between sinking and being stupidly...
United
Look, it's going to float
1216,
now.
hold short of runway 8 right.
20. 10.
Holding short of runway 8 right, United 1216.
It's still floating, it hasn't touched down. Or is there just no... there's no wheel noise? Oh no, there is now. Full reverse. Not my best landing ever, but...
American 073, welcome to Miami. Contact ground on
at least it was
121.8.
safe. That was strange.
Southwest 2178, winds
Clear
160
to land,
at 9er,
12,
gusting 20,
Southwest
runway
2178.
12, clear to land. Welcome to Miami.
Contacting ground 121.8, American 073.
Did you know that Miami is home to the only Everglades ecosystem in the world? Thank you for flying with American Airlines. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. On behalf of your flight crew, thank you for flying with American Airlines. The local time is 5:13 p.m. For those with connections, please note the following. Flight 123 to New York City departs at 6:30.
Ground American 073 requesting taxi to parking.
Los Angeles departs at 6:50 p.m. from gate D22.
American 073, taxi to gate D21 via uniform Papa Whiskey November. Good day.
Taxi gate D21 via uniform Papa Whiskey November. American 073. D21 uniform Papa Whiskey November. Uniform Papa Whiskey November. And this is D, so it's along here somewhere. So right around the outside of the airfield.
Giant 8204, cross runway 8 right.
Cross 8 right, Giant 8204.
So yeah, I think I've had my try of the CSS Boeings, and I'm going to probably go back to PMDG. That was the weirdest sensation ever on approach. It was like either I couldn't slow it down even with it idling, or it started to sink and I had to open the throttles. Very odd. Okay, so we're making our way along Papa, then next right turn will be Whiskey. Taxi light should be on. So, there's a new toy in Say Intentions that I've not tried yet, where I can ask the co-pilot to open a chart for me. I'm wondering if I should give it a shot. I don't know if it's been rolled out to me yet. Should we try it? Hi Amanda, can you open the parking gates diagram?
I can't open the parking gates diagram. You might want to check the cockpit display or charts for that information.
Okay. Yeah, so I obviously don't have it switched on yet. That's coming, by the way. I'm not sure if it's something I have to go and switch on, I'll have to check that. But I'll be showing it in a video very soon. The basic idea is you can ask the co-pilot and they'll pull up the Navigraph chart using a deep link immediately. So it'll just pop up on the screen in front of you. so we carry on to November, which is along the edge of the run here. So the next right turn, basically.
Ground, Southwest 2178, taxi to the gate.
Southwest 2178, taxi to parking via Victor Tango, Quebec.
Victor Tango, Quebec, Southwest 2178.
So let's go to charts for Miami. Taxi charts, parking bays. No, we want the gates. That's just the coordinates. 21. Okay, it's down the far end. Before the building kinks back, it's over there.
Southwest 2178, cross runway 30.
Gonna get done for a taxi violation there.
Southwest 2178.
It's that guy.
Avianca 7 ready to taxi.
I think.
Avianca 7, runway 9er taxi via uniform, Quebec uniform, hold short of runway 30.
Runway 9er taxi via uniform, Quebec uniform, hold short of runway 30, Avianca 7.
Are they numbered on the ground? Probably not. It's not the one right in the corner, it's this one.
American 1045, push and start at your discretion.
Pushback approved, American 1045.
And of course the van tries to stop in front of us. Crunch. Parking brake on. And I guess the easiest way to do this is going to be going and get the ground power connected, isn't it? You could have the APU running to do this, but this is the quick and easy way. So interesting. Can we not ground ops? Can we not get the GPU from here unless the engine's already stopped? Well, we have to go the old route then. Get the APU back on. And then bus transfer to it. And then turn the engines off. So we'll just wait for this, because we can't, it doesn't appear that we can connect the GPU unless we can do it via the radio, via the flight sim method, which is in one of these menus, and I can't remember where. It's this one, isn't it? We could do this talking to ground via say intentions as well. But it hasn't made a GPU appear, look. So anyway, there we go. So we got the APU back available. Bus transfer over to the APU, and then we can shut the engines down, because we're no longer using them for power anymore. What am I doing? Off, 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 off. Let me press my... I've made these nice buttons, I should be using them, shouldn't I? Oh, your damper's already come off because the engines are off. Packs off. Seatbelt signs off. No smoking signs off. Fuel pumps off. Electric hydraulic pumps off. I think that's about it. Obviously, if you did want to shut it all down there, you could. You could just turn the APU completely off. And then turn the batteries off.
Copa 333 doors closed, ready for push and start.
That, and do...
Copa 333.
So, that was an interesting one, wasn't it? Unintentionally exciting at times. And yeah, we can see we overshot. This is where we realised we were too fast and not losing speed. So I extended slightly and just kept the moves nice and smooth. Went manual and then pulled it in on the ILS. Very strange aeroplane. Not sure how many times I might fly it again. It was good to experience it, but it's not. I don't think personally it's. Oh, I prefer the PMDGs personally. But yeah, we'll see. It's still under development, so it may improve. And I'll obviously have another go at it just to smooth out the wrinkles. Now I know how it behaves. You can allow for that when you're flying it, which makes it that much more predictable. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed that. It was, yeah, as I said, unintentionally exciting at times, but that was the CSS Boeing 737-300. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Take care. See you again soon.